Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel.
How long was
So
I
I'm pretty
in
much
that
a
crypt?
sucker for anything related to Marvel. From the movies to the comics, and of course the games, regardless of how
No
good or
more than
bad
a
they may
few
be,
centuries.
I'll always give them a play. So it looks like sometime later this year, we will get another Marvel game titled Marvel's
what of
Midnight
Lilith?
Suns. For the release date, they have just
Probably
said
your
second
land.
half of this year. It will be released for the PS4, PS5,
now.
Switch, Xbox One, X and S,
were
and the PC. The genre is a turn-based strategy game with card-based mechanics. The developer is Firaxis Games, and publisher is 2K Games. So as I mentioned, Marvel's Midnight Suns will be a tactical RPG based around a card system. The player will take the role of the Hunter, which is the first customizable hero in the Marvel Universe, and will team up with other Marvel heroes from the Avengers, the X-Men, and the Runaways such as Iron Man, Wolverine, Ghost Rider, Doctor Strange, Blade, just to name a few. Now, as the Hunter, we will be able to customize our abilities to suit our playstyle and customize our team composition as well. So the game will be based around certain combat missions that we must do and certain tasks we must complete. However, between combat missions, players will be able to manage an upgradable base called the Abbey. Now in this base, we can walk around and explore the area and interact with other heroes. At the beginning of each new mission, we will have the option to choose 3 heroes, including ourselves, which is the Hunter, to take into the battle. The player will then be dealt a random deck of ability cards that will affect the enemy or attack them, bolster your own heroes, or affect the environment to help defeat the enemies. Now speaking of our enemies, the main antagonist in the game will be Lilith, who is the mother of demons. Lilith is attempting to bring back her evil master and fulfill the prophecy. The Midnight Suns band together to resurrect an ancient warrior, which is the playable character called the Hunter, which also happens to be Lilith's forsaken child. Now the Hunter is also the only known hero to have previously defeated Lilith. So in the game, we are able to explore the darker side of Marvel. The developers tell us that we must rise up against the demonic forces of Lilith and experience an immersive, personal story that brings familiar heroes to an unfamiliar world filled with the supernatural and the mystical. Stakes are higher than ever as you face off against fallen versions of iconic Marvel characters and attempt to stop Lilith from reviving her evil master. Now I personally don't play a lot of turn-based strategy games, but I do enjoy the mechanics in a game like this from time to time. Now the developer, Firaxis Games, is well known for their work on the XCOM series, so we should expect good things from Midnight Suns. We can look forward to teaming up with our fellow heroes, assess the tactical battlefield before us, and strategically launch devastating iconic attacks against the opposing forces.
There's blood on the horizon, but I don't break a sweat, 'cause I know where the sun rises.
That's an encounter. They play very, very fast.
Why is it that for every one of these sites we take out, it seems like 2 more appear in their place?
Patience. Hydra certainly lives up to their name.
I've hunted an actual Hydra. That was easier.
Easier than this. I live up to my name, too. Hell of a price Crossbones put on your head, runt. Too bad he never said it had to stay attached to your body. Well, too bad for you.
Big words for a dead man. You got one thing right today, Sabretooth. Heads are definitely about to roll.
Oh, look. Another mangy stray.
You smell wrong.
Compared to him,
Good point.
Now I get to kill 2 runts with 1 claw. Maybe I should be paying Hydra.
Hey guys, I would be lying if I would say I'm not excited about this very iconic duo, this battle between Sabretooth and Wolverine.
Yeah, and as you saw there, just one of the cinematics. We have hours of cinematics in the game. Obviously, we're telling a very deep story, and part of that story of course, is introducing these villains. And this is the first villain we've shown, but we have a large cast of characters, not just heroes. We've got, again, as I said, 12 Marvel heroes plus the Hunter. We also have a large cast of villains for the player to fight against. It's what makes Lilith so powerful. So again, she's the ultimate enemy. The thing that's cool about her, if you imagine the most dangerous people in the Marvel universe, she's equally dangerous because she can corrupt people with a single touch. So not only you fight villains like Sabretooth here, but you'll fight what we call Fallen, where Lilith has corrupted villains. She's corrupted even heroes that the player's gonna have to fight against over the course of the game. So yeah, very deep narrative. A lot of narrative comes out, not just through cinematics, but also you'll experience in-game as well. And now we're fighting against Sabretooth. And yes, you're right, this is an iconic matchup, right? Wolvie, the best at what he does. Sabretooth, kind of good at what he does. But he's deadly. Like, Sabretooth is a very deadly character. And so you're gonna have to require your entire team to take him out. All of our villains have a bunch of unique abilities and also a unique flair to them. Sabretooth, the idea behind Sabretooth is that he has an ability called Frenzy, and that means that every time you take an action, he may respond, right? So you have to be really careful. You have to be very efficient in what you do because Sabretooth responds very quickly. So you can take 2 actions, then he's gonna fight back.
So you have to like anticipate when he goes on that frenzy, kind of.
Yes, for now. But yeah, I mean, I love Sabretooth. We've introduced, here we're introducing Wolverine for the first time. This is where you meet him. This is pretty far into the game, probably. I mean, actually this game's very long, so not that far, but this is a good 10, 12 hours into the game when you meet Wolverine and you unlock him. So there are characters you unlock through play. This is the moment when you sort of meet Wolverine for the first time. And so again, Wolverine, a completely different play style, completely unique set of abilities.
Can you go into his abilities a little bit more? Like what makes him so unique and different from the other characters?
Yeah, so if you think about Wolverine, he's very savage. He has the ability to attack multiple targets. So he has what we call chain. He has a lot of ability that chain to multiple targets. And at the same time, he can taunt enemies. And that means that he can draw their fire. When he attacks them, then enemies target Wolverine after that. And that's great because Wolverine has the ability to regenerate health. He's very low on health here. Garth, you doing okay, bud?
That's usual berserk. I'm gonna get some lifesteal on there if you want to mention that.
No, that's fine.
I believe in you, Garth. Like you can do this.
Fine. As you can see, Sabretooth, huge health bar.
Heavy hitter. Heavy hitter.
Definitely a heavy hitter. And so that's good. Wolverine has got some lifesteal going on and sent that guy to the moon. But yeah, this is the problem with Sabretooth, right? Is that he just doesn't stop. And this matches how he is in the comics as well. Like, Sabretooth doesn't stop,
Yep.
So you have to always kind of be on your toes here.
All right. What are we doing, Garth? Like,
We got him.
we got him? Okay, all right. Okay.
I'm actually going to
You can position yourself, use the environment.
Okay. Right.
One thing that's worth pointing out is that as you move, you can continue to move until you use an ability, right? And so you can position yourself just perfectly. Until you use an ability, you can continue to move around the map.
And the movement balance is one of my favorite parts as movement. If you play tactics, you know how critical it is. But it's this wonderful balance of you can choose to play more methodically and find that single precise movement position to take advantage of the enemies, but it's not every single turn, every single action you make that decision.
Can't heal. Have to keep going.
You'll do